If you're a renter in Queensland, you need to see this.
In a spectacular backfire tonight, 9 News can reveal new laws designed to protect renters are actually forcing them out of homes. A gaping loophole in the government's rules limiting rent rises means landlords can make more money by dumping existing tenants.
These are Southeast property agents admitting landlords they represent can now make more money by dumping a tenant than keeping them.
The only way for them to get the higher rental is to change tenant.
The dark irony is that's because of new laws designed by the Palaszczuk government.
This legislation was ill thought out, it was a knee-jerk reaction, and it doesn't benefit either tenants or landlords. The solution is simple. Deliver infrastructure and allow young people to get into the market, either as an owner or a renter. Build social housing properties instead of promising them and never following through. And that eases the pressure at the bottom end of the market. It stops the feeding frenzy and it enables people to live, work and play where they want to.
Funny story about this. So in my last video, all of you guys were saying, ask to negotiate the rent raise. So I was like, hey, this might not be something that I can afford right now. Can we negotiate? And the real estate agent came back to me and implied that she wasn't going to tell the owner that I wanted to negotiate because she's sure that the owner wants it and that's something that they've talked about. And so I replied last night saying, hey, can I just clarify that you are not communicating to the owner that I am asking to negotiate? I haven't had any reply back yet, but regardless, I think there's such a cut-off in between tenants and the owners because of real estate. It becomes less of a human experience, and for tenants, it feels like you're talking to a wall. And also, low-key, real estate agents are the only people in customer service that are, like, ruthless and rude to the customer.
Housing markets in Melbourne are now officially out of reach for average wage earners.
Even the worst thing that I heard on TikTok this week. The worst thing I heard on TikTok this week was that this year, 2023, well actually it was 2022, we on average as an entire Australian society earned less than in the worst year of the Great Depression. And I can hear you already being like, no, of course they did. We earn more than that. They earned like $4,000 a year. Yes, but in considering inflation, that $4,000 was worth $95,000 in our day and age. No one is making 95 grand. That's, well, people are, obviously, but it's not the average. The average is 60, 55, 67, around that mark. This is going to get worse. Everyone, it's happening. It is starting to affect everybody. And if someone in your life is telling you to, just work harder, just do this, just do that, say, would you tell that to someone in the middle of the Great Depression? Because that's what we're facing, okay? And I get it. It's hard to talk about this stuff. It's difficult for me to talk about it. But we're not here to convince the people that are extreme in either direction, right? We're not here to convince all the liberal people that we should get free, affordable housing or, we should look after the climate. But who I am hoping to influence is the people in what we call the movable middle. So the people in the middle that don't care as much, they're not on the extreme side of the fence, but they look at this and they go, yeah, it's absolute BS that I can't afford to feed my kids, or I can't afford my rent, or I've saved my entire life and spent all of my savings in the last 12 months just to live. That should make you angry. That should make you mad at your government. That should make you feel very differently about capitalism and a society that sells everything and only cares about the individual. It's not about the group, it's not about the collective, the family, what we know works, right? Collective healing works. Individual thinking doesn't. It just isolates everyone. We need to work together as a team. And I'm here to say, with the movable middle concept, all of these sort of things, get out there, say something, start talking. This is not okay, and we can make social change together, but we can't do it on our own, all right?
Did you know that 300,000 Queenslanders are at risk currently of becoming homeless? From the interest rate rises to the rental and housing crisis, this is not acceptable. On top of that, my rent is increasing $150 a week. That is $600 a month. And I'm sure someone somewhere would actually pay that. But knowing what we know about the rental crisis, how is it that my rent can go up 15%? 15!